Hi, this is Anaya. Welcome to the channel. Let us first thank our Most High for this time, His grace, kindness, and mercy. In today's message, we're going to relook at some interesting topics that are relevant to our times. And these are the very first verses that I found when I was praying whether I should go down to Little Egypt, Illinois to see the eclipse. You can pause as we go. And the solar eclipse will be on April 8th, and Earth Day is also on Passover on the 22nd. And from today, April 1st, to the eclipse on April 8th, there's 7 days. And the 12P Ponsberg's comet will also be visible around this time. Some people think that this comet is really Nibiru. Nibiru in the Akkadian language translates to crossing, point of transition, especially of rivers or river crossings or ferry boats. And that kind of reminded me of this Bible verse, or not this Bible verse, but the Noah's Ark story. And the 12P Ponsberg's comet is also called the Devil's Comet because of the debris that makes like horns. I've added this because I wondered if it was associated with the Devil Comet. They say that there's a new disorder that's causing people to see a demon face on people. And some have speculated that the veil is thinning and that's how we're able to see people as they really are. It's not hard to believe. They're supposed to be turning on the CERN machine on the same day as the eclipse. And there's no telling if this could have something to do with it as well. I made these two videos talking about two different creations. And they had a movie out called They Live. When the guy wore the glasses, he could see people as they really were. But Yah, or Enki, as he's also known by in the ancient Mesopotamia, the land of our forefather Abraham, he warned a man named Utnapishtim to save himself and his family and two of every living creatures in a boat, like the Noah's Ark story, only it was a few thousand years before the Noah story. And I wonder before that boat or ship could have been like a UFO, and the two of every living creatures could have been like two of each animal's DNA. But the years of the two eclipses, 2017 plus 2024, equal 4041. And 4041 in the Strong's Bible Hub Concordance Greek is treasured. Exodus 19:5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Someone said that the treasure is in our chest, our literal chest. It's our heart. And I believe it's our Most High marking the X where his real treasure is. The first X is in Texas, and the second is in Illinois. Some people think that the X marks destruction. And I said, maybe for Esau, because it's written that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's from the Apocrypha, one of the books that was taken out of our Bible. But looking at all the names of the cities where the X is crossed could be letting us know where the real true Israel or treasure is, Yah's true seeds. Also, there's a lot of cities called Salem here too that sound like Jerusalem. We'll go over here in a moment how we would be gathered from afar to the Passover. Not to the eclipse, but the Passover. 4041 in the Hebrew means perhaps assembling. Assemble means to gather. And these verses talk about being gathered from the end of the earth to the feast of the Passover. And how he that scattered Israel will also gather him. And how the Most High ransomed Jacob and he has rescued him. And this is about the timelines. I saw this movie, The Return of the Anunnaki, What Will Happen, and they talked about a difference in our timelines between each planet. In this movie they said, a month here is a day on Nibiru. And the captions read that the Anunnaki would return every time Nibiru approached close to Earth, roughly every 3,600 years. Now this is just a movie, but I'm going to still go over it since I saw it other places. And it lines up with Adam's lineage chart, which we'll also go over here in a second. But according to Korah, Ashar was an increment of time as well as a title held by the ruling An. Ashar is equivalent to a period of 3,600 years. Ashar was equivalent to a year in Anunnaki time. So I divided that 3,600 by the 30 days for a day, and I got 120. I really don't know what these numbers mean, and I'm not that good at math, but 120 is supposed to be the lifespan of man, according to Genesis 6:3. And BCE time starts and counts backwards after the Common Era, or Common Era time. So 3,600 years, counting back from the year 2024 that we're currently in, takes us to 1576 BCE, which is around the same time of our first Exodus, as you can see from the time frame. This Adam's lineage chart with the dates on the left and the places where you can verify it in the middle, and the events and names on the right. But 2024 in the Strong's Hebrew means a region in northern Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is the area between the Euphrates and Tigris River in Baghdad, modern-day Iraq. And 2024 in the Greek is a supply, provision, and equipment and support. And this was supposed to be a picture of an Anunnaki Stargate in Iraq and possible weaponry when they abandoned the Earth around 1700 BC. And that's around the same time frame as the first Exodus. So maybe they could have came back around that time. You remember the Baghdad battery? This is a screenshot from another channel of the Anunnaki. So Strong's 3,600 in the Hebrew means a cooking or furnace, and it means in the Greek to cause or suffer pain. I torment pain mid and past. I have tormented pain. I suffer acute pain, physical or mental. And that's probably what the nations or the wicked and unrighteous will be dealt pretty soon. In 1576 in the Hebrew means a dealing, recompense, or benefit. And 1576 in the Greek means to shut out, I shut out, exclude, or separate. So this is the dealing of recompense for the controversy of Zion and the weeding of the wheats and the tares. So this 430 years was our first time that we were in bondage. And you can see from the chart time frame. And the letter V is the 22nd place in the alphabet, and R is the 18th place. So 2218 in the Strong's is a yoke and of a heavy burden, comparable to heavy yokes resting on the bullock's neck, a balanced pair of scales. So this is also something that I was led to while I was making this. At 617, it is a prisoner. And that's basically what this VR is. Because a yoke was used to connotate slavery. servitude or influence in familial relationships or religious ones. These verses speak about being brought back from captivity and being restored our land. And this one speaks about the first sign and the latter sign. And the second verse speaks about the 71st year, because after 70 years will be accomplished, you will visit and perform his good word. So after 70 years are accomplished would be 71 years. So the comet last visited our skies on June 20th of 1953. From Saturday, June 20th, 1953, added 71 years. That took us to Thursday, June 20th of 2024. And from the eclipse on April 8th to June 20th of 2024, there's 73 days. And there's the verse, in the Strongs, it means a gathering, contest, struggle, an athletic contest, hence a struggle in the soul. So, some people think that this is an actual ship and not a comet. And I just wanted to add this movie, The Space Traders. It's about aliens and spaceships that came to Earth to collect all the melanated people in exchange for resources and technology. And it never showed all the resources the world received for us, but the aliens convinced them when they cleaned up all the pollutants out of the water and they turned the Statue of Liberty to gold, then the governments made us go. Only Yah knows if something like this will happen. Me show us his right ways and paths. And this is from that movie. And this is also something that I was led to while I was making this. And this was about the movie 2012. It's a good movie. So this man was at Yellowstone and he warned a man and his family to leave and told him about a map to a giant ship. And that will be the only way to survive. And I made a video titled, Is 2024 Really 2012? And the End of the 400 Years. It's written that we will be in bondage for 400 years as the seed of Jacob. And some people, including me, think that we were already here and this is our true land. So when it says here, we shall be a stranger in a land that is not ours, I don't think that it means that it never was our land. I think that it was, but got taken for transgressing our Creator's laws. Therefore we lost our protection. Over and over we transgress and get redeemed after crying out and repenting. Read Judges 3, it's all about that. And history does repeat itself. But I do think that this time it is different. There's an 11-day difference between the Gregorian calendar and the Hebrew calendar, because there being 365 days on the Gregorian calendar and 354 on the Hebrew calendar. 11 extra days times 400 years is a 4,400-day difference. And 4,400 days counting back from the eclipse takes us to 3/22 of 2012. And that's the same year the Mayan calendar was supposed to end. Not the month though, but if Ethiopia's in the year 2016 right now, it's not hard to believe that 4/8 of 2024 really could be 3/22 of 2012. And there's something significant about 3/22. We know it's the skull and bones number. Skull and bones, also known as the Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death, was an undergraduate senior secret student society at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. And that's supposed to be George Bush Sr. on the top, second from the left. And those were supposed to be our native Hebrew brethren, Geronimo's skull and bones on the table. So what does that say to me? I say that they knew about Geronimo being a true Hebrew Israelite and this being our true land. and also about the 322 date possibly being the day of our release of bondage, when our 400 years will be over. So this is also the Chinese Year of the Dragon. It began on February 10th. And this looks like a dragon that the Sumerian gods from Mesopotamia are riding on. I believe that the dragon was associated with Tiamat. And this was from the year 2012 movie. And those are the ships that were supposed to withstand the flood. And this rocket is actually called the Dragon. I thought this verse could have been referring to this image on the left when I first read it a while back. I saw someone else correlate it to a UFO too. And I wanted to share it with you in case you haven't seen it. These are EFAs on the bottom left, which kind of looks like a UFO or flying roll. I looked up the number on the length of the breadth of it, the 20 and 10 cubits, and it's a giving of rest in the Strong's Concordance. And these are a few more things that I was led to, or just a few signs. We got Oumuamua interstellar object, which has been detected passing through the solar system. And we've got the 12P Ponsberg's comet that will be visible the same time around April 8th to the 22nd. And the eclipse in Passover. And I thought it was no coincidence that I found this bottle of Moonlight Path lotion when I was helping my sister clean out her garage. Still almost full. That's what everyone's talking about now. The sun and moon path and the eclipse. And this Google chat box AI shows images of people of color in this Nazi era. Who stole the identities of the real Hebrews? Who claim to be Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan? What were they really trying to say here? For it is the day of the Most High's vengeance, the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. I say that it is for the mistreatment of the righteous, for stealing our identities. And these are just some ancient artifacts that I found, some pictures of people that look like they could be these people. The bottom 3 on the right and the top right are supposed to look like this one on the right. This verse speaks about a burdensome stone. I thought about the comet. And then this one speaks about, I will smite every horse with astonishment and his rider with madness. It will smite every horse of the people with blindness. This kind of reminded me of that movie. Everyone's cars just went out of whack. In that day I will make the governors of Judah like an hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheaf, and they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. The Most High also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Most High defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Most High before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. Isaiah 14:1-8. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Most High hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon sing, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. So that will be all for now. I thank you for listening and watching. May our Most High forgive, heal, guide, and protect the true seeds, and all who love and glorify Him. May there be truth, peace, healing, redemption, protection, and all the things we need to thrive and survive. In your Most High glory and honor we plead. All glory and honor to you alone, Holy Redeemer. Thank you.